live from inside with TJ. Here's our host, TJ.
Hey, thank you, Julie. Thanks, everybody. Please welcome to Live from Inside. This is our first, I wouldn't say comedy show, but we're gonna try to entertain you with some cool and interesting conversation with some of my really good friends, and I think it's gonna go well. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I have some really cool guests. Three of them, people that I know personally, very funny people, very interesting people, and we're gonna be talking and it's gonna be fun. So we're trying this out. Let us know in the comments while you're watching how this is going for you, what you enjoying, what you like, whatever feedback you have. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my first guest, and then we're gonna just get started. This dude is a good friend of mine, and we've been through many a comedy nights together, straight from Philly and Florida. Please give a virtual round of applause for Patrick Schroeder, everybody.
Hey, I was thinking how funny it would be if I just never turned my video or anything on.
That would have been hilarious.
If I just left you hanging for 20 minutes.
That,
I have no
I
idea
would
how
just
many.
start saying things into the void. I guess that's what you do.
Oh yeah, I mean you would figure it out, but you would have like a tough 2 minutes. I'm sure I'd be getting like 50,000 texts.
He just died in his house. Corona got him suddenly.
I just forgot about it. I left my camera on. I'm just walking back and forth in the background, like, oh shit, I
Yeah.
Jay the show.
How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
You know,
Has your daily routine changed at all? Like, how many showers do you take a day?
I mean, every other day at best is my routine now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of what I do too. I used to shower twice a day. Now I'm like, that's just a waste of water. Who am I showering for?
Well, yeah, it's like we used to, go to work and have to come home and then go back out for comedy and stuff. There used to be reasons to shower, and now,
Yeah, a t-shirt now lasts me what, 16 days? That's what I do. I don't care.
the good thing
I
about a
do
shower
not.
now, though, is it feels like you're not in your apartment, though. It feels like you're somewhere else for like 10 minutes. You can just sort of, close your
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm in another room somewhere.
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
Just it's not your room or your living room or your kitchen. It's like, oh, I haven't been here in a day or two.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to look at it.
It's like a
Yeah.
little vacation. So it's like a water park vacation now.
Right, right. What a life. Did you see what happened today? The news, Cuomo. Basically, we're hunkering down for one more month until May 15th.
He put like what
Yes.
May 15th.
I guess that's the date that they basically were playing with the end of April,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't look good. So he's decided until May 15th we end this together. That's what's happening.
Yeah, my boss at the moving company texted me today because I haven't worked in like 2 weeks. And he was like, hey, thinking about coming back. I'm just like, I'm type 1 diabetic. I don't think it's safe for me to be out there yet.
So they're out there just working. They don't.
Yeah, movers are working.
Why is somebody moving doing this? I don't get it.
I mean, I guess people's leases are still up. I mean, we're still paying.
That's true. That's
Didn't
true.
freeze it. It's like you can't get evicted, but if you were already planning to move somewhere,
Yeah.
do it. And I think a
So
lot of people are moving out of the city too. Like before I stopped, I was doing a lot of jobs in like Boston and upstate. People are just fleeing the city.
yeah, New York might take a big hit in terms of population, I think, after this.
Yeah, I mean, that would be not terrible if people just moved and didn't come back because it's very overcrowded.
Well, we need them. Who are we gonna tell jokes to? What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're gonna be down to like one comedy club when this starts.
And there'll still be 10,000 comedians.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
No, no. How do you feel about those comedians that are lucky enough to just go home and be with their families, huh? That'd be nice.
It's funny to like see all these comics, in like these big ass houses now. You're just like, wait, I didn't know.
Right. You've been rich this whole time. You're just disappointing your parents by being here. There's no reason for you to do this.
Yeah, go work for one of your dad's friends somewhere. Go work at
Right.
a mortgage company or something. What are you doing?
I guess one improv class at UCB changed the whole career now.
That's the real problem.
Yeah, we need to stop. UCB is sort of closing down. I mean, I don't have any problems with them as a place, But the fact that they don't pay performers is really annoying to me. But
Yeah, it's such a bullshit racket to not.
yeah, they've really enabled a lot of unfunny people to do this thing.
And it's like it's not, some free bar show. It's a prominent comedy theater,
Oh God, oh, so well respected. And
Yeah,
they
shell out
charge
like
the
20 bucks.
audience people who come and watch it, yet we have to perform for free. It makes
Yeah.
zero sense business wise, but
That's why I'm
kinda-
glad nobody who runs shows there ever tried to book me. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, they just know you that stand for that shit. So for people who don't know, you're from Florida, right? Well, you're from Philly, but you spent a lot of time in Florida.
That's right. Born in Philly, moved to Florida when I was a kid. Grew up.
So you've seen Tiger King.
Oh yeah, Tiger King.
It's not set in Florida, but it's very Florida-like as far as the people in it.
Well, they have some elements. I know some of them are like around Florida because they showed the Lion Country Safari in South Florida that was sort of near where I grew up.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like a drive-through zoo with all sort of giraffes and tigers and all this shit.
And you used to see that all the time as a kid?
We used to go on like field trips every year. They would just pack a bus full of kids and take them to, yell at the animals. And then when we got older, we started just driving through there ourselves and smoking weed and drinking in the car.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then you the big fucking ostriches can come up to your window and you fuck with them a little bit. It's fun.
That sounds cool. Not in a very Florida-like way, but it sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to get to a definitive. I don't know if you're up to the task, but if you want to, let's try to get to the bottom of this. Because obviously a lot of people hate Florida because it just doesn't present anything good for the most time. Like for the most part, it's just shitty. And I've lived in Florida for about a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I've spent time there on and off. But every time I'm there, there's just something that happens. What do you think is the essence of what's so bad about Florida?
Florida, it's a combination of the people who are already there, like the rednecks and the like people living off the grid, those kind of people. But we also get the worst elements of the people from every other state. Like it's all like old people from the Northeast and
retirees
on the run from the law from other places. I know personally people who have moved to Florida to escape mafia retaliation. So
personally,
yes, I really should not have said that, but
no, I mean it's okay. Nobody's gonna get you in trouble, but that just adds some edge to you. Like somebody hiding from Jerry Colombo or something.
It was a long time ago. All right, that's all I'll say. Nobody on the live stream needs to worry.
Have you seen Make Millions?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, well, a lot of that is set in Florida as well. It's
Perfect.
It's a documentary about the scam. There was a McDonald's Monopoly game.
Oh yes.
In the late 90s, I guess, early 2000s, and it got rigged by an Italian mafia boss, and most of it was happening in Florida.
I knew that game was a scam when I was a kid. First of all, Monopoly is too complicated of a game anyway. And then we're playing it with like billions of cups and hamburgers and stuff. Nobody was winning that money.
Yeah, it was. The documentary is fascinating. I would say it might be more interesting than Tiger King, but Tiger King has so many elements to it that are insane. So more people are drawn to that. But that was a really cool documentary. It's insane.
I'm only good for like one documentary a month. It's too much information.
Yeah, you're not an information guy, huh?
I can't learn that much because I watched Tiger King. I can't watch any of.
There was no learning in Tiger King. What are you talking about?
You learned a lot.
What did you learn? Okay, what did you learn in Tiger King?
That Carol Baskins killed her husband. That's
not information that's useful to anybody. Where could you use that in life?
The next time I'm down in Florida, I'm gonna ask some questions around. Somebody knows something. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
I thought you were gonna say you learned something about how tigers live, how long before they turn into big ass tigers and you can no longer take selfies with them.
I already knew all that about
Oh,
tigers.
you already knew. I guess the
That's-
Florida thing. Yeah.
That's the Florida education. All of fourth grade is just tiger training.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So I wanted to say congrats
Mhm.
album, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This was
too
sort of
further.
meant to be an album release show. And,
Yeah.
obviously that's not going to happen. So, yeah, once in a while, just plug in there that I have an album just to let the people know. Because I'm
Yeah,
very ashamed of doing self-promotion. I
Oh,
just
I'll do
can't
it for you, bud. I was
Yeah.
there. Look, step back, TJ. Let me talk to the people at home.
All
Right?
right, you talk
I
to
was
them.
there. I hosted the taping. Let me tell you, this is a tremendous hour of comedy from
Oh my God, tremendous.
laughs,
He's using
wall
Trump
to
words
wall.
now. You know it's real. That's a Trump word.
When you have to go into oil salesman, that's you start.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Snake oil salesman for
Yeah.
sure.
But definitely TJ, he very, very broke. He has no money. They're gonna starve
I
to
don't think
death.
the people need to know that. They're already giving $5. They have no idea how much of it is coming to me. Don't tell them that.
But help out
They'll have-
TJ.
All right.
Because if not, then he's gonna try to come live with me, and I don't have enough room.
You wouldn't let me live with you? I thought we were friends.
I'll give you like a week to get your shit together and find something else.
Nah, I'm staying in my apartment. Whether or not I pay the rent, the landlord will have to come and drag me out before I leave this place. So
Well, they're not evicting anybody anymore. They took 3 months, no evictions.
Oh, that actually became a thing. It's passed as a law.
Yeah, you got time, buddy.
Okay, so it's no evictions, but that means when 3 months pass, we still owe 3 months of rent.
Yeah, they froze the mortgages for the landlords and then said, it's up to the landlords what to do. So they only protected the people who, actually own stuff. And then
Right. So you know what the landlords are gonna do. They're not gonna let us go free.
No, never.
They shouldn't leave that up to them. If Cuomo really wants to be president and fucking knock Joe Biden off this ticket, he should make every rent in New York City just suspended completely.
I agree with that, but there's they're going to protect the people who own things and then not the people who rent it. And
yeah, I mean, America is all about owners. That's what matters.
Yeah. I mean, you said there was like for the wealthy, they're getting like $1 million or something of
right
this relief.
While the plebes like us, we're just happy to get 1,200. Did you get your 1,200?
No, but I didn't file taxes last year, and I filed this year like just recently.
Okay, so it might take a minute. I'm sort of in the same boat. Yeah, I filed this year and last year about a month ago.
Yeah, I filed last week, so yeah, I'm probably on the next wave of shit.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss stand-up? Just the nature of it, the people being up there, killing, bombing, all of it.
Right now, it's at like a 12. I was okay the first couple weeks, but I mean, it's like that's all we do. Like we don't really hang out at home.
Yeah.
Like my whole existence in New York has been like I don't really care if I have a good apartment because a bad apartment will keep you out doing shit. So I was always
cares where
you live. And then it's like, well, nobody can go outside. You're stuck with what you got. You're like, oh God.
Yeah.
That's why all those people went home.
Yeah, if you have nothing to do here, which it looks like we won't have anything to do until May 15th. I mean, speaking of things to do, not even, I think in California, the mayor of LA practically said, it's not confirmed yet, but he said there won't be any gatherings until 2021. Can you imagine that?
Well, mayors have no power. So.
Right. They just like to pretend the powerful.
Yeah,
but
they just like to wave at shit.
But still, that's a crazy thing. Can you imagine America without sports for a whole year? People will kill themselves.
Oh, I'll be first in line for the suicide booth if there's no sports. They got to put them in an empty stadium so I have something to do.
Yeah,
I think, what about though, like for comedy clubs, if they just sat people 6 feet away, if there was just like way less people?
That's sort of what they tried. They tried that the last week I was able to perform, I think March 14th, I did a show at Gotham and people were spread apart. It worked. It was fine. But you can, comedy is a closeness type of thing.
Yeah,
The
it wouldn't
closer
be the
people
same.
are, the better the reaction is. So
There's nothing better than like a small room and it's packed and everyone's
that's right.
on
That's
top of
right.
you. Yeah, that now, see, just saying that made me miss it. Like
Yeah.
it's like a hot room and you're like a little sweat
Oh, bro.
comfortable on stage, but you're just like killing it. It's
There's
like
really nothing
be
like it.
there. That's the thing. The crowds when we can do stand up again are gonna be so fucking cool. Like they're gonna be so happy to be out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think entertainment in general is gonna have a really nice rebound when this shit
Oh
is
yeah,
over.
because so much shit that we all took for granted is now gonna be
That's right.
great again.
That's
Like
right.
going out to eat. Like when you're a kid, going out to a restaurant is such a big deal. And now,
Right. Especially as a family, you know, you do it once a
yeah.
month. It's the coolest shit in the world.
But then, like for when you're an adult, you go out to a restaurant, you're just like, "Fuck, I got to take some chick out to eat, and it's gonna cost me like $200 or something."
See, that's really what it is. The act of it is fun. It's just the money. Because when you're a kid, your parents are paying. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel like anything. So
yeah,
money is the evil in life, really. We should just get rid of money. What do you think, Patrick? As
yeah.
a
I wish you all the luck in the world with that, TJ. To see
how do we manage to get rid of it?
how we can move away from that. And
Yeah.
then if there's no money, is it just like you have to defend yourself? Like, are we gonna be there's
We're too
gangs?
deep into it to even think of creating a society without money.
Yeah,
We're just too deep into money. Because I mean, if you think about it, if banks just stop working, me and you are as rich as Jerry Seinfeld tomorrow.
finally, my dream.
That's insane just to even conceive. But that's a possibility.
Well, that he would be able to make his money back a lot quicker than we like.
No, that would just be no more money. There would be no money.
All right. Well, then
Yeah.
we could just beat the shit out of Seinfeld, jump him.
Yeah, Seinfeld is so punchable. He's got a punchable face.
What do you mean?
I'm sure he got
Yes.
mugged plenty of time coming up in comedy.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good time for impression. Well done. I've never heard that before. You did good, Pat.
I don't like to do my impressions, but I got a couple in my bag. All right.
Shit. Look, man, this is a show that's possibly not watched by anyone. So let's break out the impressions. Who do you do?
All right.
Who else do you do?
I got Jimmy Stewart. You ready for Jimmy Stewart?
Can you do people that I know?
You don't know Jimmy Stewart? Who do you know?
I know Jon Stewart. That's one of my heroes.
No. Jimmy Stewart. The people at home will know Jimmy Stewart.
Is that a singer?
No, he was an actor. You ever see It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes.
He's the star of It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay, I see the face. I just don't know the guy very well. All right,
Okay.
let's do Jimmy Stewart. So
There
I
we
would
go.
be a good judge of that. It could be shitty, and I'll say it's good.
I promise you it's good. All right. You ready?
All right.
Well, I don't have your money. It's Bill's house, and it's in Mary's house, and I want to live again, Clarence.
Virtual claps. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Thank you.
good. Yeah,
I feel good
yeah,
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when everybody had a George Bush impression in the early days of comedy, like 2000?
Well, the key to impressions is you have to see one person do the impression, and then everyone else can copy it. So,
Okay.
Most
impressionists are doing an impression of one impressionist. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Yeah. There's always like the original, like the first impression, and then everyone sort of works off that.
Who do you think is the original Donald Trump? Because I don't think Alec Baldwin's Trump is good at all.
No, and it had to be probably somebody in like the 80s who was doing a Trump impression that we saw, because he's been famous for so long.
He has, yeah.
Like
He's been the same shitty guy for a long time too. There hasn't been much about him that changed.
No, he's other than like on the surface, like he, started speaking, Republican platforms that he never said before until he was wrong. But
yeah.
But yeah, he's just a con artist.
That's insane. So Obama had a couple of good impressions when he was in office. Bill Clinton had some good ones.
Clinton's a good one. Yeah, Clinton, what's his name on SNL? Daryl Hammond. He was
he was perfect.
Bill Clinton impression, and then everyone just did impressions of his impression.
Okay, yeah, I could see that one. Remember Jay Farrow on SNL? He did all the black rappers, like
He,
everybody.
yeah, I think he was the one who did the first Obama, and then everyone saw how he did it and was like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I don't do impressions. I can barely speak English as it is, so I'm not
You don't
even
have
gonna
one
try.
impression.
No, not. I mean, I could do my parents, but that's for nobody. Nobody knows.
What about like in French or something? Do you have do you have like a French celebrity you could do an
I
impression?
can do a classic French accent, but I do not have an impression of anybody.
That didn't even sound like a French accent.
What did that sound like?
It just sounded like you.
I don't speak with that pointy, like the Z's and the.
You do after a couple whiskeys, it comes out.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes I don't even know what my accent is. That's why people are confused by it. So sometimes on stage, I feel like if I take too long to tell an audience that I'm Haitian, they're very confused before
Yeah.
they get on board with me.
They're trying to guess where.
Right, like who the fuck is this guy? I mean, I want to like him, but I want to know more before I like it. It's like, all right, just chill out.
Exactly.
All right, I'll ask you one final question before we get this party rolling, and I'll ask all the comedians. Do you remember? And it's one of my favorite questions to ask comedians because it kind of tells you a lot. Do you remember the first bit or joke that you did that made you feel like a real comedian? Like, oh, this one is good. I can
Ooh.
do this.
All right. I know the first joke I ever told on stage, and it got a laugh somehow. I think it mostly got a laugh because I was 15 years old, and the crowd, like anything I would have said with confidence, the crowd would have laughed because it was like a freak show. I got on stage, and my dad had driven me to the open mic, and he was sitting in the crowd, and I said, my dad gave me some advice before I got on stage. He told me to picture the audience in my underwear instead of like in their underwear, and I got a laugh.
Oh yeah, that's classic misdirection for sure.
Yeah, like a little misdirection. Yeah, and I looked at my dad, who was like so emotional about me being on stage, and was crying and not laughing, and it threw me for the rest of.
That is so tender. That is so sweet.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, but at the time I was just like, my dad's not laughing.
I mean, to make your dad cry at your first comedy show, I don't know what it says about your comedy career, but it's a very nice thing as a father and son moment. That's really cool.
Yeah. Felt good.
That's dope, man. Well, thank you for joining us on this, man. I appreciate you doing it, and we'll chat soon. I'll see you on Monday. We got that other thing going.
That's right, bud. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Enjoy the tequilas.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you. And well, there we have it, guys. That was Patrick Schroeder. Please give it up for him. And I'm gonna keep this moving and immediately welcome my second guest. Before I tell you her name, I have to do an intro because that's the name of the game. Oh, she's here already. I was gonna do a very elaborate intro for you.
Do it anyway.
From Boston, and a place that I will tell you because I want to talk about it. The very funny Xazmin Garza, everybody. Virtual round of applause. Give it up for her.
What's up?
What's happening? Welcome to Life of Inside.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. How are you doing?
Man, I'm fine. This has been a good week.
The pause before that, I'm fine, I think tells us otherwise. So what's going on?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. It really is a day-to-day thing.
It is, right?
It really is. You know,
so your brain is slowly, like your brain has to re-accept this every morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
That's kind of the worst part of the day, though, is waking up and realizing all over again, oh yeah,
that's the life we live now.
I can't leave today.
Yeah.
You know, and I keep saying when I get out, like I'm in prison.
It is sort of a prison, which, I kind of felt bad for Ellen. Remember a couple of days ago, she got a lot of flack on the internet for saying that being in quarantine in her mansion
Oh
felt
God.
like being in prison. People were mad because, like, bitch, you in a mansion, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but come on. Everybody wants to be outside because that's human nature. So give her a goddamn break. Just because she has more money than you.
She wants to be outside in her Maserati, not inside in her mansion.
Exactly. Just 6 feet away from strangers that you can look down on. Let her have that moment.
Exactly. What's the point of being that rich if you can't like put it in people's faces?
I think that's really mainly, I mean, I know we're joking. That's really the point of being rich. Is there any other reason than just
Dude,
have
it
a better
definitely
life than
is.
other people?
It definitely is. Look, you guys were talking about what's the point of money? This whole quarantine, like paying rent, not paying rent, dealing with stuff like that has made me think so much about capitalism lately, and like the concept of money and socialism and all that, and I thought about it and I was like, why is socialism so bad? I don't understand. Why is socialism so bad? And then I was like, oh, but if everyone was equal, how would I feel better than people?
That's
like
right.
that also ran through my head. That's
right.
why people are capitalists. That's why America is a capitalist society. Because
Capitalism preys on a very instinctual part of human nature that we all have, and it works.
Yeah.
It certainly works. Because if you go in the Bay Area, like Silicon Valley and stuff, there's a lot of millionaires over there who feel poor because their neighbors are multi-millionaires.
Right. Yeah.
So the whole thing is very relative.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we're getting into this, I would be remiss if I did not tell people that you are from Utah.
Oh God. People love this.
Which is very strange for somebody who looks like you.
Hot people are from Utah too.
That's right. A lot of hotties in the Mormon community over there. So what happened? What led you from Utah to Boston and New York City? Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh man, I'm Mexican. Okay, I'm Mexican American, and my parents were migrant farm workers, and they lived in Idaho. And when the economy got bad in Nampa, Idaho, there are a lot of migrant farm workers in Nampa, Idaho, by the way. People think, oh, Idaho, what? There's not Mexican people. There's actually a lot of Mexicans there.
By the way, you have the story of a political candidate, just like, I'm Mexican, my parents were migrant farm workers. Like, oh, I believe in the small communities and the rural communities of America.
Especially because I experienced none of it myself, but I will sell you all of their oppression so that I am more likable. You know what
Right. Man, you could run for Congress. I don't think there's a Mexican representing anybody in Utah, so it's wide open.
Better watch out.
Oh yeah.
Watch out. But the economy got bad in Nampa. They went to the next closest city, which was Salt Lake, and they stayed there. And I grew up there. I graduated college there. Everything.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me because I also lived in Utah. I think I told you this before.
You did. Yeah. That's wild.
Yes. I lived in Utah for a year and a half. When I first started stand-up, I used to have jokes about it because how do you not?
Right. Yeah.
How do you not?
I have a whole 15 minutes.
What was the strangest part of? Well, see. Can it be strange for you because that's pretty much all you knew before you left?
No, listen. So here's a very interesting thing. So I lived there since I was 4 years old, but our first neighborhood had like a lot of minorities actually in it. And then we moved to this other neighborhood when my mom got like a better job and there were nothing but white kids. And those little white kids knew that they wanted to be racist, but they didn't know how to do racism, So this is the craziest thing.
I got the manual.
I got called the N-word for dude, it was crazy. It was crazy because
she looks less white than us. Let's just give her that universal word.
Exactly.
There we go.
They didn't know. They were supposed to call me like spick or wetback. They didn't know the words,
Yeah, I guess those words hadn't made it to Utah yet. Those are Southern words, right?
What a predicament for me, I was like, do I correct them? What do I do? Oh shit.
That's insane. So you were close to Mormons, but you weren't a Mormon yourself.
No, we were Catholic, and growing up in Utah,
Right.
that meant like you were a rebel, dude.
Yes, imagine being a Catholic rebel.
Exactly. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
must have been really insane. So how old were you when you left?
Like 26. I moved to Las Vegas, and
Okay.
yeah, I lived there for 10 years.
And was leaving more of a age/career decision, or I need to get the fuck out of this place?
I always knew I was gonna leave.
Okay.
From the time I was a little girl, I knew I was not gonna live there. I wasn't gonna.
Because life is very limited there.
Yeah.
You do your thing and you turn 19, you go to a singles ward, you find a husband and you make a bunch of kids, and then you just repeat the cycle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just on Facebook, and all these people in like southern Utah, which is I think where you lived, right?
Yes, I lived in Cedar City. Yeah.
Okay, this is in St. George. All the national news keeps covering southern Utah as an example of how stupid people are being across the country. Like right now, they're having a march for their freedom to open up the stores.
Oh my God.
They're so stupid.
Oh Jesus.
So hell yeah, I don't want to be associated with that. I'm happy I left, you know?
That's insane.
Yeah.
See, that's why sometimes I think there's a lot of things I like about America, but also I think Americans are too free. And you realize that when there's a thing like a pandemic, when there's a national emergency, and people have to behave in a way that limits their freedom, but is better for everybody in the long run.
Right.
A good dictatorship is very valuable in moments like this.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Just get everybody in line and do what the fuck needs to be done.
That's what we need, dude. We need public caning, you know? if you want to go out without your mask, without your gloves, that's fine, but consequences. Americans don't know consequences.
No, they don't, because to them freedom is this idea that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Right.
Which is yes, but also you pay for doing whatever the fuck you want to do in some sort of way. So get ready for that.
Right.
Yeah, there's a pastor, and I felt zero sympathy for him. There's a pastor in Virginia, who refused to stop services because he said, you know, God will tell me if I need to stop, and God will take care of coronavirus.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? He got the disease and then he died.
Yeah. I wonder what his final words were, like on his deathbed.
All right. Well, give him, put him out. What do you think?
It was like, vote for Trump or something. I'm serious. Because those people don't learn.
No, they do not.
He didn't learn.
They do not. So I read in your bio also, I don't know if you started this in Utah, that you were a columnist.
Yeah. No, that wasn't in Utah. That was in Vegas.
Okay. Who'd you write for? And what did you write?
The Las Vegas Review-Journal. It's the biggest newspaper in Nevada.
Whoop, whoop. All right, get your props. And it says you won multiple national awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, dude. I'm not gonna lie, you know. But yeah, I had a column, and it was, I pretty much had free reign. They let me write about anything, you know.
What was your main thing you find yourself writing about? You just kept coming back to it because you like it as a subject.
Me. It was mostly about my life. I'm serious. It was mostly about me. You know?
Oh, that's just perfect. That's the comedian in you, you know. It's all about me. Hell yeah.
I was like, what? There's a war happening? Listen to what this Facebook war I had, you know?
That's freaking awesome.
About me, that's what I wanted. I just wanted it to be like a first person, quick, funny stories about stuff that was happening in my life. And then it started getting like a following. And so they wanted me to write about serious shit, you know?
Right.
And I started writing about like national subjects like the election,
Okay, so you were sort of you were an op-ed writer, but not a journalist.
Yeah, well, it's part of journalism, so you're considered a journalist. You know,
Okay.
an op-ed writer is someone who usually is on the board of the newspaper.
I see. I see.
So yeah,
Yeah.
or writes in with an opinion piece. But I was a columnist, so I wrote my opinion. It was all my personal opinion. It wasn't. It wasn't like.
Was that a fairly smooth path into comedy, or were they wildly different?
One thing I definitely did with journalism, with my column, was I found my voice. You know.
Okay.
So
why are you putting it in quotes? That's a cool thing, finding your voice.
When people are like, "Go find your voice."
Okay, well, all right. Well, let's unpack that. Since you're on it, what do you think it means to find your voice, and why are you uncomfortable with that saying?
Okay. Look, so here's what it means with comedy. I'm sure, like when people start out, they're usually doing an impression of someone else.
Yes.
They're usually like mimicking their favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say their favorite reporter, their favorite comedian.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that I didn't realize it, but I think that I was doing, like, when I first started kind of doing Amy Schumer.
Okay.
It was very
That's
hot.
normal. She was the big one at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But then when I started realizing more, like, just do what I think's funny, not necessarily what I think they're going to laugh at.
That's right.
And then I started falling into my own thing. That's what I think your voice is. When you're just doing what you specifically think is funny, you, from your unique perspective, what you think is funny, that's your voice.
I agree. And why do you not like that? Does it feel too artsy to say, like, I found my voice?
It just sounds cheesy. Like, I guess finding your voice, that sounds cheesy to me.
Yeah.
It's just overused. It's one of those artsy things,
I guess it's a cliche because in some way it is true, because you can tell when somebody sort of finds their voice.
And you can tell when they haven't found it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, so if you were to put I'm putting you on the spot here. If you were to put words to what you think your voice is. I know. Let's dig deep.
Oh shit.
What do you think your voice is?
Fuck. I hate this question. I really hate this question.
Which is why it's a question you should answer.
Oh, damn. Here's the thing, okay? I hate when people look at women of color on stage and say, "Oh, she's sassy. She's sassy."
Okay.
But I'll admit I am, I don't like necessarily being described like that, but I definitely have a take that isn't going to be a sweet, like, look, for female comics, there aren't a lot of categories, okay? There's a big category of white feminist comedians. And yes. I'm kind of like the retort to that.
Okay.
I consider myself a feminist, but being a white feminist and being a feminist of color, totally different things. So
all right.
I'm on the other perspective,
Okay. And in what ways do you think they're different? Because I'm here to learn as a man.
What is this eyebrow thing? As a man, that's never good. Oh shit. Okay. There's a lot of, and it comes down to what we were saying about everything's relative.
Yes.
So when I hear white women on stage talking about how bad they fucking have it, just like, and then they'll start going into detail about the way they have it so bad is that men are always interrupting them. I'm like, bitch, you don't have it bad. What are you talking about? That's not bad, having it bad,
Yeah.
What pisses me off in comedy too with that is that white women get thrown into the mix on diversity shows.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because people are like, oh, we need a woman's voice. We need okay, get this white. I'm like, since when is a white woman a minority? What's going on here, My main issue with that is that they're taking the second most privileged group in the country, and they're essentially making them the most privileged group in comedy, because all these white women are jumping on shows for the simple fact that they're women.
Right, right. Absolutely.
I could do the whole hour on this.
So in essence, your voice is the sassy retort to white feminism. That's what I've
I wouldn't say all of it, but a very strong portion of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I have a lot of little jokes about white feminists where I'm poking fun at them, you know.
Oh, well, please do them because I cannot. They will come for me. No, actually, I don't care. I can. I'll do whatever I want.
You don't care.
I think that's also part of finding your voice is accepting who you are as a comedian. You know what I mean? It's like you just said being sassy is not your favorite description, but you are sassy. So this is who you are. So you accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, you have to be okay with this is who I am and I'm going to do it, even if I don't like how people receive it. And even if I don't like what people think it is, but this is who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what year did you get to New York City?
2 years ago. My 2-year anniversary is going to be like, I think April 28th, 27th.
Oh, shoot. You're going to be celebrating being in New York inside. Look at that.
Man, sucks. I also had my 6-year comedy anniversary in quarantine.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, how has your, I mean, our lives have changed in practically the same way, but what's your routine like?
Well, I have a day job, you know,
okay.
So I still am doing the 9-to-5 thing, you know, and we went through like a round of layoffs. I made it through. Woo, thank the Lord.
Congratulations. Still getting that sweet paycheck. Are you paying rent?
Ooh, you're asking the tough question.
Should we go to a private room for you to tell me that? Are you afraid? Yeah. Your landlord might be watching this show.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. I'm putting my rent aside for something that we're working out at the end of.
Okay, I think that's smart.
Because I pay a lease as a unit with 2 other people.
Okay.
And they're in a different financial situation, so.
Right. What about utilities? I pay those because I feel like I don't want my stuff to be cut off.
Oh, hell yeah, we're paying those. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get your 1,200? Well, I don't know how much money you make. You probably don't need 1,200.
I got a check, but yeah, it wasn't 1,200.
Okay, that's we won't talk about it.
I know you're
we'll give you privacy. What's well, since we're on the subject of money, do you remember the first time you got paid for comedy? Do you remember that feeling?
Yo, I do remember. Can you hold on for just like 2 seconds?
Okay, are you gonna go find the check? Well, as you can see, it's just me and you right now because Xazmin has gone to recover something that is very precious to this conversation, and she's back. All right, there she is.
This is it, right here.
This is it?
This is the first time I got paid.
Holy moly, you got $5 whole. That's a very serious link.
Baby.
Nice linking over there. How long was the set?
Oh, it was just like a 5-minute set, I think.
$1 a minute.
Yeah.
Good work if you can get it.
I was pumped, man.
Did you feel like you deserved it?
I was like, oh damn, and I got paid.
Was that in Boston?
It was in Boston, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And did you feel like, you know what? I'm a pro now. I'm doing this. I'm in.
I called my parents, dude. I was like, drop out of college, man. It's done.
You should, I don't know what's the word here, but in Haiti, when you have something that's valuable to you as a kid, you cover it in plastic. But it's, oh, fuck, see, that's the problem with translations. Any piece of material it's not too hard. So that $5 would have to be encrypted into something that could make it last longer because
Yeah.
it's valuable to you.
Right, right.
Does that make sense?
You know why I don't do that? Because I grew up poor, and no shit. The other day, listen. I was cleaning up my room, and I was thinking when I knew the layoff was coming, I was thinking, and I came across this, and I was like, what if I have to use this?
Right. Or if you're down to your last $5 and
You
this
know?
is it.
So hell no, am I putting it in plastic? It has value.
Hell, even as a 7-figure advertising executive, you still won't let go of $5.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't forget those habits,
Yeah, yeah.
I still do that. Even when I get like new clothes, I see people who buy new clothes and immediately put them on. There has to be an occasion for me to put the new clothes on. And that's a habit growing up with we weren't.
Yeah, the money habits of people who came from poverty are very interesting. Currently, we haven't done comedy in a while, but in my current set, I do a bit about money. And one of the jokes in it is how my grandmother used to put her money in her titties, in her bra. And as a concept, that's very much people who grew up in poverty get that.
Yeah.
That's what grandmothers, Black and Latin grandmothers do that.
For sure.
And when I test the audience to figure out like the ratio, usually an Irish grandmother from Ireland might do that. An Italian grandmother from Italy might do it. But white grandmothers in America don't have to do that. That's just not the culture. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that comes from the fact that, I have to put my money somewhere deep because I don't know when I'll have money again. I have to hide it, put it in my titties because that's very private to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's about.
In somewhere deep, it also comes from a place of having big ass titties.
That is true. Some grandmas got that nice cleavage, and it's a good place to have money.
You're not putting your money there. Everyone's gonna see where your money is,
Yeah, yeah.
My sister still does that. My sister.
How old is she?
She's in her 40s.
And she still puts her money in her bra.
Puts it in her bra. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hold on. Is she rich?
My sister has a good amount of money.
And she's still, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it takes a few generations for those habits to break, huh?
Right. I mean, she's not going to dinner and paying for the check, reaching into her bra or anything like that. I'm talking like,
That would be nice. I actually would want her to do that. Just commit to the bit. Do it all the way.
Yeah.
Do it all the way. All right. So here is the time I'm going to ask you that question. I'm asking all the comedians tonight, which is a favorite of mine. Do you remember the first time you told a joke or wrote a bit that made you feel like a real comedian?
Yeah. I do. I heard you ask Pat that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about, okay, so I started 6 years ago. All right. Okay. And this is when people first started rioting about the cops shooting unarmed Black men. Okay.
Okay. Like Eric Garner and all that.
Yes. Yeah. The first riot happened, I think it was like in St. Louis. But so I wrote a joke about how I thought it was crazy that college kids riot when their team wins. Because I grew up in the Rodney King riot, so I always thought riot when you like lose something. And then I said that the college kids also have a ritual where if it's a really big win, they burn a couch. And I was right. Yeah. So I grew up with like people rioting and looting. I was like, you're supposed to add items to your household, not get rid of them. Yeah. But I remember after I told that joke, this is the first time this happened to me, where other comedians came up to me and shook my hand.
Nice.
You know how they do that? That was the first I had seen people do that, but it was the first time that people did that to me.
And yeah. There's nothing like that sweet validation from other comedians because we all on some level want that, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's
and how long did you do it before you were like, you know what? I'm good now. I can write other bits, but this one made me feel pretty confident in my stuff. How long did you do it for?
you know, it became a thing. Like I was one of the first people in Boston to be joking about that. Now the scene is very white too.
Yeah.
So, but then it became a thing where everyone had a joke about the riots or the cops and Black people. So I got rid of it.
Started to feel too commonplace. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it really didn't live that long. So,
cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any last words? Do you want to promote my album for me?
I wanted to tell you, because we were talking about you know, all the stuff growing up without that much money. On your album, my favorite bits of yours are the ones talking about poor people. My favorite one is the one about poor people. That's all we have are our feelings.
Yes.
You know, and on the subway you go, and that's just poor people with their feelings. That's all they have.
Oh God, so many.
Great bit.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, congrats.
Give it up for, thank you very much. Give it up for Xazmin Garza, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we keep doing this, and then you can come back on. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Good. Thank you.
All right. One more time for the very funny Xazmin Garza, everybody. And we're gonna keep moving along. Are you guys ready for our final guest of the evening? Our final guest of Life from Inside. It's moving so fast. I'm gonna be sad. I didn't know it was gonna get to the end so quickly, but we shall keep it going. It's not like you have anything else to do. So please welcome. Very funny. I love watching this dude. I've worked with him a couple of times. We're usually at Eastville all the time. He's all over the place, been killing it on the podcast and on the stand-up scene. Give it up for Akaash Singh, everybody. I knew this was gonna happen. Akaash is not here yet. All right, we're gonna try an intro again. This guy, straight from Dallas, then Los Angeles, and finally to the hard streets of New York City. Please give a virtual round of applause for Akaash Singh. Where's Akaash? All right, I guess we'll wait for Akaash. In the meantime, what could I tell you? I have an album out called Son of Haiti. It's currently streaming on Spotify and Pandora and iTunes, Apple Music, and Tidal, and all the other places. It came out April 3rd. So tomorrow it's officially gonna be 2 weeks, 14 days. And so far it's been very positive, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really happy that I got to share it with the world. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
I did 2 intros for you because I don't know if you took a jerking off break. I don't know what happened, where you went.
It's cooking dinner, actually.
Oh, nice.
I'm more productive in the quarantine.
That's right. You're becoming a chef.
Buddy. How you doing, man? How's this all holding up?
I'm good, man. I'm for me, it's fine. I'm not very uncomfortable with loneliness. This is just something you learn as a transplant. Because as an immigrant here, I spent a lot of Christmases and Thanksgivings by myself.
When did you move here?
2008.
How old were you?
I was 18, 19, yeah.
Dude, that's brutal.
Yeah. It was definitely some gangster shit. You had to fend for yourself a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. In New York, of all places.
Well, I went to school in Long Island, and then I moved around a bit, different parts of the country, and then I came back to New York 2012 to do stand-up. That's when.
What's your favorite place?
I would have to say New York just because of what it represents and what I've been able to do here. But Utah is probably the most beautiful state I've been in, just landscape-wise. It's fucking gorgeous, man. They got some national parks there. Fucking take your breath away.
Yeah.
But weird ass culture. I wouldn't recommend spending too much time there, but if you're driving through, it's a nice sight.
Go visit. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thanks for being on.
Of course, man. Of course. Thanks for having me.
Well, last time
this is so much better than a show.
it is fun because, you know, I'm very much against the idea of performing into the void, because I keep telling people that stand-up comedy is a dialogue as an art form. You need 2 people. Yeah. One being the performer, the other being the audience. You have to have it. Otherwise, it makes no sense what you're doing.
Right.
Because the audience guides so much of it. They tell you when to go faster. They tell you
Yeah,
when
it's
to
a
slow
conversation.
down.
It's a
That's right.
conversation. Yeah.
So this is a conversation. We don't have to pretend to like try bits
Right.
onto each
Right.
other. That's fucking strange. So
I do think there will be a space for this with like open mic type stuff where it's like, hey, I got this idea, and then a room full of comics gets together. Because open mics, yeah, that's not really a conversation anyway. You're just kind of speaking into a void. And then
yeah, that's true.
if comics are like, ha, then you're like, oh, okay, I got something great. You know what I mean? So that's basically
true.
what a
That's
Zoom
true.
call is. Yeah.
And I guess that they would be more attentive to you because regular open mics, the problem with them was that other comedians were lost in their own jokes. They were thinking
Mhm.
about them.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get a real reaction. So if you're
Right.
on Zoom with a bunch of comics and we can't all talk at the same time and we can't even think about our own jokes because we're not on the spot like that,
Right.
I guess people would pay attention to you and tell you what they think of your jokes. So that might be
Yeah.
better actually.
I mean, it wouldn't be great, but open mics are awful anyway. So
Yeah, it's just a rite of passage.
yeah, exactly.
Where'd you start? Where'd you start doing open mics?
I started in LA actually. I did comedy a couple times in college, maybe like 4 or 5 times in my 4 years there. Like once a
Okay.
year I would do it. First time I did really well. Second time I did the same set. I did okay. Third time I went back to the place I went the first time. Thought I had this great set. I bombed my ass off so goddamn hard. I couldn't talk for a couple days after. And then I did it again like 2 years later, went well, and then one more time after that.
So you
And
kind of
then
took a 2 year break?
yeah, because I hadn't like I was doing it. I did it at a random open mic, like an hour and a half away from where I went to school, maybe even
Okay.
more. But a kid who went to a school in that area was like, "Yo, there's an open mic," and he used to always tell me, "You're gonna be a stand-up. You're gonna be a stand-up."
Okay. So
And
you were like
he
a funny kid around your friends. You were funny.
that was just weird, yeah. And I
Okay.
moved when I was like 16. It was close by where I went to school. It was like 30 minutes away from where I went to school before, but it was a brand new school. I didn't know anybody, and I was just like, "Fuck it. I'm just gonna like be wild and weird and whatever. Like whatever I feel like saying, I'm gonna say because I'm graduating in a year and a half anyway. Who cares?"
Okay.
But then yeah, this kid would see like all of the crazy things I would say or whatever, and he was like, "You're not gonna be a doctor, dude. You're not. You're gonna be a stand-up." And then we went to college a couple hours away from each other, and he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, there's an open mic. I want you to get some material together. You're coming." So I did it. It went really well. I was super hyped. I was feeling myself. Did it again at school. It went pretty well, well enough.
Mhm.
And then the third time, dude, I was like super cocky. Went back to that first spot. Thought I was gonna kill it. Thought I had this great set worked out. I bombed my fucking ass off, dude. I got pulled off stage. Oh gosh, so brutal.
Yeah. It's that
So
fake
brutal.
confidence you get early on because it's a fluke. Something good happens
Yeah,
and you think you got it.
man, I thought I had it.
Yeah. That's
Oh God, it
crazy.
was so awful. I think like 10 people drove down to see me that I went to school with. Oh, Jesus, just a nightmare.
That classic mistake early on
Bruh,
inviting your friends.
I was gassed, dude. I thought I had it. Oh, what a fucking nightmare. But then I did it again. So I didn't touch a mic for like almost 2 years. And then they had like a stand-up night at my school. And one of my friends, they asked him to do 20 minutes. And he was like, I can't. I was like, 20 is a lot, man. I kind of
But
wanted to. So I was
question
like, if you
before you
want, I'll
lose
do
your
10.
train
Yeah.
of thought. Question:
Yeah.
in those 2 years that you didn't touch a mic, were you still thinking about it? Were you still
I
thinking
would think
about
about it.
jokes?
I would think about it. I don't know if I'll think about jokes, but I was like, I I don't know if I don't want to do it again. I'm scared to do it again, but I feel like I can't be that bad. I think is what I was. I mean, this is we're
Hmm.
talking 15 years ago now, but I think I was like, I think I can do it. I just don't want to do that again. I don't want to bomb like that again.
Yeah, it's soul crushing.
It's
The
soul
first
crushing,
real
and you
bomb
don't
is
know it just happens all the time. Like you're never gonna stop bombing.
no. Well, if you want to be a good comedian, you're never gonna stop bombing.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't understand like the idea of. I thought you would always just do big shows and then you go back to working on stuff. I didn't know there was like an open mic scene where you had to work on a joke 15, 20 times, however many times, a year, 2 years to get it right. I
Hmm.
didn't know that. I didn't know any of this. I would just do, hey, here's a big show people are going to be at. And then I went to LA after I graduated college. My best friend was going out there. I had a year where I was trying to apply to med school and stuff. And
Yeah.
when he said he was going to LA, I was like, oof, I think I want to do this. And then I asked my mom, I was like, would you be upset if I went to LA to try to do stand up for a year? She didn't even know I wanted to do stand up. I don't even know if she knew I had ever done it before. And she was like, look, just go. I would rather you find out, even if you can't do it, than wonder for the rest of your life.
That's
So you have my blessing.
incredibly supportive for an immigrant mother.
Insane. Blows my mind to this day. Every time I tell the story, I'm like, what the hell was she thinking?
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah, just crazy. But I went kind of on a whim, and then it just became what I loved. And I started in LA, but then moved out
Okay.
here.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long did you do it in LA before you felt like, all right, I got to go to New York City?
I lived in LA almost 2 years, but the first 6 months I don't count as like time I was a stand-up in the same way I don't count college, because I did like 3 shows the first 6 months I was out there, meaning I got on stage probably 3 times. Because I thought it was, oh, I have a show, I'll get on stage, I'll try these jokes that I've been working on in my living room or whatever. I didn't get it. And so when I got it, it was like February of 2007. I think it was right after the Super Bowl when the Giants beat the Patriots. And I was like, oh, now I have to go do this 4 or 5 times a week. And then I made it a point to go 4 or 5, I think 5 spots a week was the goal. And then as I was getting deeper, all these vets were telling me, you went to the wrong place, man. If you want to be great, you want to be good, you go to New York. You want to be famous, you come here. And I knew I wanted to be good, so I went to New York.
Smart move. Yeah, that's always been like the consensus from comedians. You go to LA when you're sort of ready as a stand-up comedian. To get seen. Question, like this might be a little bit too technical for people who are not performers, but when you were bumming, now when you look back on it, can you tell what is the reason you bum? Was it the material, or was it you weren't confident on stage to deliver the material, or was it a combination of the two?
I think I look at every set where I bomb, even now, maybe too much, more psychologically than I do technically. Like I don't, to a fault, I probably don't focus enough on the technical aspects of the joke, because if I do that, it would take my jokes up a whole level. But like, I think I have a tendency when I get nervous to be very unlikable. And I'll like as a defense mechanism, I'm not going to be vulnerable enough for you to dislike me for me. And that's something I had to work on super hard, is like, look, if they don't like me for being me, at least I went out doing my best, as opposed to closing off and making them dislike me. You don't realize you're doing it in the moment, but probably that was the main reason I would bomb before. And I'm sure it's like dude, when I first moved to New York, I literally got worse as a comic. In LA, I was doing pretty well. There was like, people kind of had an eye on me, not like industry types, but comics were like, this kid is funny. And then I went to New York, and after a couple months, I just bombed no shit for like 2 years straight. I just bombed and bombed and bombed. And I didn't realize how unlikable I was. And I was doing this thing of like the Patrice shit, where it's like, I just want to say what I want to say. And that's enough.
The more you bomb, the more unlikable you got, in a way.
Because I got more defensive. But then I studied, like, I got this idea from Andrew and how he kind of like started, and he really like broke down stand-up on it in a, to your point, technical way. And I would like write down the first 5 minutes of so many specials that I liked. Patrice O'Neal, Elephant in the Room, I did 10 minutes. His HBO half hour, I think I did 10 minutes. Chris Rock, first 5 minutes of Bring the Pain, first 5 minutes of Bigger and Blacker. And what I noticed, all these comics that I thought were like super raw and edgy, I would write down every word, every facial expression, every hand gesture. I would transcribe it. And then every time they got a laugh, I would try to put a star and then indent and then write a paragraph on why I thought they got a laugh.
That is such nerdy homework, but I fucking love it.
So Indian. I was so Indian about it. But it flipped everything, because I realized even they don't just say what the fuck they want to say, and you guys got to laugh at. They always put it in a way that like, I'm a good guy, I just happen to know this thing, or what I noticed this thing, or whatever. Like Patrice's bit about this is real technical, but like Patrice's bit about, you can tell how beautiful a white woman is by how long the cops would look for her, whatever. And then and then he goes, first of all, he automatically off rip compliments an interracial couple, so he doesn't seem racist. And he's like, that's right, this white woman, that's a beautiful white woman. If you look at the cutaway, she's not that beautiful, she's mad eye, but he says that's beautiful, so he's more progressive, more likable. And then he says some shit I really realized, where he's talking to the black girl and he's telling her cops won't look for her if she goes missing. And he's like, you think anybody gonna look for you if you go missing? And then he goes, I would look for you, but they're not gonna. And now we're all a victim of this shitty system. I would look for you, I'm a good dude, but the cop, that's just the way it is. And now he's not the bad guy. So I really like broke it down. And then again, like Gary Goldman's writing tips I should incorporate more, because that's what I think is missing.
Those were really helpful last year.
Yeah, and I started doing that, and I noticed there was sets that I could just like grind through like a workman, and I would have like that's a bit I have on this, and it's cool. And I need to get back into that, but I tend to look at it all so psychologically that it's good.
It's
but I
a
need to get back
very
into the
mental game.
Yeah,
There's a strong game that's going on between you and the audience, and there's something about it that's very animalistic too.
it's
Like
very
it's
primal.
yeah, because if the audience can feel the fear, or like you hesitant in what
Yo,
you're
they
saying to them,
smell fear, dude. They
oh yeah,
smell fear.
oh they'll come for you immediately.
Yeah, and to me, the joke isn't usually fun unless I'm saying something that's pretty unpopular. And you have a similar streak where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
I
I
don't
would
want to
say I'm
say what
sort of
everybody's
related.
saying. Oh, Trump is an idiot. What a fucking unique
Yeah,
thought. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, we
yeah.
all know that. What else can you say? Say something
Mhm.
that's Trump isn't as stupid as he thought because this, and then find a creative way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you're doing that, you're really taking a leap. That like you
yeah.
gotta own it and live in it, and you can't be fearful because they'll immediately jump off board.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
Oh, well, since let's move away real quick from the stand-up, because I remember the last
Yeah.
time I spoke to you,
Yeah.
you were planning to, if I get this right, to get married, right?
Yeah, still planning.
Holy shit. How
October
did
10th.
Corona affect that?
So we were supposed to do my fiance is Sikh, and I'm
Uh-huh.
Hindu, which is a different religion, and we were gonna do
Yeah.
my religious ceremony. We believe more in like auspicious days and inauspicious days, like favorable days on the calendar. So we were gonna
Okay.
do my ceremony in Dallas in May, like just a small thing for family and friends, but like we were just gonna do that, and that's canceled now because apparently October when we were supposed to get married wasn't as favorable. But now it's like, listen, Corona mad unfavorable. That shit won. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna try to
Yeah.
squeeze it all into October 10th. I think, knock on wood, we'll be good by October 10th. Some people
I
are
hope
worried that it
so.
won't.
I hope so.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more bullish on all this than a lot of people. I'm not like this isn't a problem or the flu is worse or whatever, but like I don't think it's as bad as people think it's gonna be. Like I think we're past the worst part of the curve. I think May 15th things will start opening up slowly. I don't know
Yeah,
if it comes back in the
that's
winter.
what Cuomo gave today,
Yeah.
May 15th. Yeah.
And so if you notice, the last time he extended another month, it went from March to end of April, and
Mhm.
now it's just 2 weeks. So I think
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
getting out of it.
Yeah, but do you think, and that has to do with the psychology of people, I guess Americans in particular. Do you think as soon as the news start reporting that the numbers are good and we're sort of beating this thing, do you think people will be hesitant to come out and do stuff, or you think life will just go straight to like, all right, let's do shit. I'm very happy to be out again.
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think it's going to depend on the people. Like some people are,
Mhm.
they're more daring. They don't really give a fuck. Like whatever, man. I am tired of being cooped up in the house. I think in the end, this will be the best thing for live shows because I think those people will pretty quickly be like, yeah, I'll go to a stand-up show. I don't care. I'm tired of watching Netflix. I'm tired of looking at my phone. I'm done
Yeah.
with like online virtual entertainment. Let me look at a human being and laugh
Mm.
at him with other human beings. And I think other people will be slower to do that. But then whenever things seem clear, those guys are also going to be like, yo, let's go to the theater, like not like a movie theater, like the play theater. Let's go to a
Yeah,
stand-up
yeah,
show. Let's
yeah.
go watch human beings and be with people because we are starving for that now.
Yeah.
I think this could be a really good time for stand-up
I
after.
think so too. I think so. I mean, I saw did you read Roy Wood piece about how this
not.
would change? Basically, his point is that those of us that aren't big with a big following yet might struggle a lot, because when this returns to normal, the
Yeah.
big names are not gonna go straight to theaters. They're
Yeah.
gonna go back to the clubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the clubs want to make money, so they're gonna get those guys going, and then
Yeah.
those of us who couldn't do anything beyond the club, we're gonna be fucked.
That's why this is a good time for everybody to lean into online content. Like comics were so slow to
Yeah.
do it, and now just try. I'm gonna start vlogging. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to do one today just to do it. But like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm friends with vloggers who have a million followers on YouTube. I know
That's
I'm a
right.
funnier writer than them.
Yeah.
Every stand-up is. It's just but that's all a vlog is I'm doing stand-up straight to the camera, and then we edit it up, and I'm a better writer than half these guys anyway, so let's just do it. Like,
Yeah.
that's where you could take your stand-up set straight to a vlog.
That could work. Yeah. Yeah, I've never been good at the online stuff. Some of it, it just doesn't feel real to me. I don't know if I'm reluctant to embrace it. That could be one of my flaws, but it's just something you got to embrace now.
I
You
am
have to
too.
do it.
I have a huge, if we're getting like vulnerable for a sec, I have a huge fear of failure that like I don't want to put some shit out and it's whack. And
You
then,
are in the wrong business, my friend.
bruh, I know. And but that's the same thing as like, I think that's a lot of reason comics low key won't go online. It can't just be you think it's stupid. It's clearly the future. I mean,
Yeah,
like the internet
yeah.
won. It beat everything. So for me, I'm realizing I just got to do it. And if it fails, who cares? I got to like get used to failing with it. So I'm
Right,
going to try
right.
to just record something today. I probably won't put it online, but just the act of talking to a camera, I'll do that. We got our podcast. I'm going to try to do other things, film little goofy ass TikTok videos of me just being silly or
Oh,
whatever, but
you
like
got a
do it
TikTok
all.
account?
I do have a TikTok account and I only used it for stand up originally because I was like, yeah, man, I'm a stand up, blah, blah, blah. I'm out of clips in 3
But
weeks.
now
I've
you're
been
gonna
doing a
start
clip
doing the
online. Yeah.
dances. You're gonna do
The
dances
fuck
with your
else you
wife.
gonna do, bro? Yo, now with my wife, you know what I want to do? I want to dance to real thug ass music with this little guy. It's my dog. But I think there's like
That's
a
a
funny
winner.
thing.
I mean, if you bring a dog in it, you golden, baby.
And if you dance into like some thug ass music and you're dancing silly and you're clearly not taking it seriously, you're trying to be impressive, I think it's like funny. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
All this shit I just got to do. And I keep trying to tell more people, so it puts pressure on me to do it, but I haven't yet. So
yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep watching to see what you do.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. So you live with your future wife, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Has living together made your relationship better, or is just created
Yeah,
tension that you
I
didn't know were
think
there?
I think better in the sense that like we have our little spat. The first week we got in like a big fight, maybe two, maybe.
Okay.
But then after that, it was just like little fights, and now it's almost better in that like, oh, we can deal with this, we can deal with anything. And after every little small spat, I'll be like, you know, this is what's going to happen. There's no couple that's not doing this right now. No couple
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
together for a month and a half in one space and just getting along the whole time. So it's not a big deal. It happened. And like, I'm enjoying it. We'll watch like a movie every night or whatever. We're about to eat dinner whenever this is over. We might do a little home yoga workout. Like,
That's
it's
cool,
fun.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings you all together.
Bro, I can't imagine being alone for 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah, I was for about a week because both my roommates went away to be with their families, and then one of them she could not stand her family, so she came back.
All right, fair.
So I'm here with her. So there's at least some human presence in my apartment.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you sort of get to see the psychological aspect of human nature. We're social creatures. We need to be around other people. That's why I love stand-up. Stand-up, as much as it's an individual game, it's really one of the most social art forms.
Yeah. Yeah.
You studying people when you're up there. You're seeing what people like, what they react to, what they're grown at, what they open themselves up to, how people laugh. Like there's this thing where like Asian women will laugh and they'll put their hand over their mouth. And that just tells you so much about their culture.
I never noticed. That's so true.
It's a very cultural thing where like to them, like, oh, it's impolite to just laugh out loud. I'm gonna hide it alone. It's like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I must always be meek.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. Black people throw their arms, they don't give a fuck.
Oh man.
Flipping tables over.
It's the best.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Remember the first time you killed in a black room?
Well, I had 4 black roommates in college, so I knew, and I laugh like that. Like if something is funny and you're next to me, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you on your shoulder like 30 times. Yeah. It's this. You laugh with your whole body. The whole thing is fucking joyful. You just take it in. Yeah. You experience it.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
So you moved to New York. What year did you say?
2008 or 9. Whenever the financial collapse happened, I was just moving here.
Okay, so I guess 2008 on the back end. Cool.
Yeah. That's when you moved here, right?
Yeah, I moved to the US 2008, and I started in 2012. But yeah, so after the 2 years, what started clicking after the 2 years of bumming here?
Oh, it was when I really studied. Like I thought I worked hard, whatever, but studying other comics and seeing what they do and how they put it all together. And it's not just about saying what you want to say and making it raw, blah, blah, blah. There is much more of a science to this than there is than we want to admit. And I think
That is
I started to understand like joke structure a lot better. And like when I'm talking on stage at that point, when I was talking on stage trying to think of material, then you just start doing the calculation of like, oh, you need a punchline here, you need this here, you need this here. But that was the turning point. And then me being like, it's okay. I need to be able to laugh at myself on stage. I need to be able to be vulnerable. Like if you always try to win on stage, you're gonna lose.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you should put on a t-shirt. It just sounds good.
Yeah. As I was saying it, I was like, this is all right. I don't know if it means
you go.
anything, but it
That's
sounds all right.
working. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'll ask you that final question I've been asking all the comedians. I don't know if you heard it before, if you were listening, but do you remember, and I don't know if that happened for you in New York or in LA, I'm assuming New York, the first bit that you told where you felt like, all right, I could do this. This is a real bit. It came from a real place, and there's something about it that's funny. I like the way people react to it, and it makes me feel like a real comedian.
There's probably different levels to it because the third time I went on stage or fourth time after I bombed, it was an idea that my uncle had years ago about how heaven is better than hell. And then I just like, or hell is better than heaven. And then I just like expanded that into a full bit and it got laughs. And I was like, oh, I think I could do this for a living. And then LA sets would go well, New York sets would go well. But I had a show in Austin as things were just turning the corner for me. And I lived in New York and it was called Festival of India. So it was like a bunch of Indians came from all these different schools and I performed for like 300-400 and it was my first real opportunity. And then it went well. And like the whole weekend, people were treating me, I was there for the whole weekend. People were treating me differently. And I was like, oh shit, I can do this. Like I did well. I thought it was an okay set, whatever. I wanted to go perfectly and it didn't go perfectly. But I was like, yeah, it's fine, I guess, whatever. But then the way people responded to it, I could just see like beyond like you're a celebrity to me or whatever. There's none of that. But like, you could just see that move them in a certain way. I was like, oh, okay. I think I can actually do this.
Right. Because part of it is not so much the laughs. I mean, the laughs are important, but it feels like you connected with people.
Yeah.
Which is what you're trying to get at. That's the gist of it. All right, cool, man. Well, thank you for coming through. This was gonna be a real fun live show, but life decided otherwise. And you know, we gotta adapt, and that's what we did.
Thank you for having me, man. Good luck.
Good luck, sir. Appreciate
Son of
it.
Haiti. Yo,
all right.
Very dope what you did, man.
Thank you. Till next time.
Talk to you later, buddy.
All right.
Bless.
All right, everybody. I think this is, let's see if there's any other comedians in the room that might want to chat and say goodbye together. Patrick isn't here. Xazmin, do you want to come and say goodbye? If not, I'll just say goodbye on behalf of everybody. So it's been fun. It's about 8:21 right now. So technically we did nearly an hour and a half show. So I enjoyed this and I hope you guys did. And if you did, please let us know in the comments and leave some questions and comments. Tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't, and we might keep doing this. And thank you, Julie, for having us on. And I really appreciate it. This was Live from Inside, and I'm your host, TJ. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane.